Hello everyone. Hello and welcome to Soul Conscious Tarot. First of all, I want to start out by saying, if you saw my message that I posted on my community page, I wanted to say thank you for all the love and support and patience with me for what I'm going through right now. I was not planning on doing any readings at all. I'm telling you that right now. I wasn't planning on it, but Spirit had another idea for me today. And I was so called, feeling the transition and the energy, feeling the shift. There's a big shift going on right now. I mean, a huge shift going on right now. And I think it was part of the reason, now looking back, I think it was part of the reason that I was forced to take a step back because I needed to reevaluate. And I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of people, is this need to reevaluate some things in their life. So first of all, I want to thank you all so much for being patient. I am going to probably pull back, and I know I've done this before. I just do readings that I'm moved to do. Whatever Spirit calls me to do, I do those readings. I don't try and fight the algorithms. I'm out here to help people. That's all I'm here for, is out here to help you. I don't care about the recognition. I don't care about the money. I'm just here to, help people. And that's my goal. So one of the things I typically, if you've watched my soul weather forecast before, I draw emoji cards. And today I was not moved to draw an emoji card. I was drawn to use a crystal for this reading. And this is malachite. And I was drawn to this malachite because I feel, and the fact that it's a pyramid too, because I feel like, what this is showing with the pyramid is that a pyramid's built on a solid foundation, and that right now we're in the midst of restructuring. I think many of us have gone through some kind of tower moment in our life in one way or another right now, and it looks different for each and every one of us. But that it's so that we can build a new foundation and build a solid foundation that's going to lead us to something that is for our highest good. Because I think about, you think about the pyramid, it reaches up to the sky, to divinity, to spirit, to something higher and bigger than us. It reaches up into the atmosphere, and it comes to this pinnacle. It's also like, if you think about, if for folks that follow the Abrahamic religions, it's kind of like that. How does it go? Oh my gosh, I apologize because I'm not a follower of the Abrahamic religions, but it's like mind, body, and soul. It's like the Trinity. So it's kind of that same aspect. And I'm just noticing this triangle, this pyramid is not actually centered. It's actually slightly askew. And so what that is giving me is the fact that, the way you build your pyramid does not have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't have to be. It's going to look ugly and messy, but the main point is the fact that everything happening right now in your life, or that has been happening, was to tear down the foundations and the structures that were currently in your life, so that a new foundation could be laid for something better in the future that's coming. Okay? And so I love that we have the 37 Magician sword coming out here. Confidence in your magic. And boy, let me tell you, that is everything. Because what we believe is what comes into our reality. And so if you're focused on the negative, then you're going to attract negative. If you're focused on the positive, then you're going to attract positive. And I know you've probably heard that 1,000 times from 1,000 different sources, but it's because it's so important to understand that if you're focused on the past, then you're not really in the moment and in the present. If you're focused on expectations in the future, and expectations of something to come, whether that's good or bad. So say like you have a surgery coming up, and you're going to be, some of us might be so fearful about what's going to happen in that surgery that we're not enjoying the moment, the present, or we get so wrapped up in what we can't change, and we have this regret of the past that, again, we're not living in the present. So I think that the shift is happening around those kinds of concepts to help us be more present in our lives, to find ways to, where in areas of our life where we weren't appreciating life, the universe is coming in to shake up that and make us more appreciative of what we have, of where we are, what we have, and being more in the moment, in the present, valuing where we are now, okay? And it's going to look different for everyone, for sure. I mean, that's a definite for sure. You know what? I want to pull one more of these and chill. Okay, 2 more. Sure, why not? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the tiny house. I love that this it's kind of coming in the center. It's wanting me to put this in the center. And that's what we were talking about. There's this need for cleaning up our life, and tearing it down. And I love that this is actually almost like a pyramid shape again. It's again, like lighting a fire underneath us. The universe is doing the things that are happening to light a fire within us, to make us change, to make us grow, to make us move. Because I think there's too many of us, all of us in the universe, in the world, have been too focused on fear, too focused on controlling things, too focused on too stuck in our where we are, and we've been too rooted. We've been way too rooted now. And I love that this fact that that this actually says the disowned self. And when we're rooted and we're not changing and we're not growing, then we're actually stagnant and stuck. And so I feel like many of us, especially with the rise I've seen in anxiety and depression, and then also, so many people moving toward this heavy substance abuse, because at least here in the US, 420 is becoming a very popular thing as it becomes legalized, and more people are gravitating toward its use. And because they're finding it's a new way to escape their problems, escape their troubles, escape everything. But the sad thing is that by escaping, you're not dealing with the root of the problem. And to solve the root of the problem, we have to go within. We have to go within, and we have to clean up our house, our mental mind. We have to clean up. We have to change the things that need to be changed in our life. And I love that this is coming through as almost like this is Magician's sword, but it's coming through as like that Ace of Swords, that, seeing things in a new way, seeing things in a new light, seeing the truth of things, seeing where you're holding yourself back, seeing where you need to change, and I love that this is like the 1 card. And I want to say 1 is Magician 2 energy. I think, I think 1 is Magician. I think it's full Magician, but I could be wrong, since I don't have it out in front of me. But I'm getting putting yourself first. And putting yourself first we have been misled to think that that's a selfish thing to do. It's not a selfish thing to do, to put yourself first. Because let me tell you, you cannot give to anyone else if your cup is not full. If you have not filled yourself up with the love and the gratitude and the joy that you need, if your life is not happy, you can't make somebody else happy. I'm sorry, but you can't. And so you have to put yourself first, and it's nobody else's job to take care of you but you, okay? Nobody in this world, it's nobody's responsibility to make your life better, to make you feel better, to validate you. It's your job and your job only. And I think that's where we have been going wrong in the world as a whole, is that we have got too caught up in thinking that we want to put the blame on other people, that we want to make it other people's responsibility to make us feel better, to fix our problems. And when in essence, it really comes down to us and what we feel inside, what we think inside. It all starts with us. And one of the big principles, if you follow Wicca, paganism, some of the more spiritual practices, one of the things that you may have heard, and a lot of you that are in the spiritual, that actually are in the spiritual world, you know this and you've heard it and you probably understand it. Some of you may have heard it, but maybe don't understand it. But it is the saying is, as above, so below. And our outer world reflects our inner world. So unless we get our insides straightened out, our outside is not going to be straightened out. So, I hate to say it, but it's so true. Everything starts with inside us, like how we think, how we feel, how we carry ourselves, everything, our beliefs, our values, all of that, it matters. And it matters on such a huge level. It's that foundation that we build on, what it comes from within us, and what we think and what we see and what we believe, all of that's so important. So, I think a lot of us have been, we have been taught the wrong things. We've been taught to put emphasis and value and energy into the wrong concepts, into the wrong beliefs, into the wrong values, ones that are not serving us, ones that are not for our highest good. And it's not that you did anything wrong. It's not that anybody else in your life did anything wrong. Every person out here in the world right now are doing the best that they can with the knowledge that they gained. But knowing that we are all essentially God, like in our own life, that we are, what's the saying? It was something that was, in the Bible that said by Jesus about, that God's within us, or that we're a part, like, basically, I apologize, because like I said, I am not a Abrahamic religion person, so I do not know the Bible inside and out, but basically the whole concept is that same, that we're all connected, we all belong, we're all unique, we all are here for a reason, we all have our own reasons to be here. We have to remember what those reasons are. And no one can tell you, I don't care who they are, no one can tell you. One of the things I find interesting is that there's always this thing of seeking advice, seeking other people's help. And yeah, that is valuable. It is extremely valuable, because everybody has different input. Everybody's experienced a different thing than we have, a life than we have experienced ourselves. And so it's like, we need that insight and that knowledge, but the problem that we have is that we don't apply it to ourselves. We don't take that in and then compare it to everything else we know, and then make those sound judgments. Sometimes we either, somebody's saying something and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. We may not even take any of it in. Sometimes, because we just discount it. Sometimes we take all of it in and we make it ours when it's not supposed to be ours. So it does require not only, when getting that information from external sources, but being able to process it and integrate it in a way that is right for you and right for your life and right for the life that you're meant to live. And now where it gets kind of tricky here is the fact that no one knows what life you're supposed to live but you. And the only way you're gonna know that is if you go inside of yourself and really figure that out. Sit with yourself, ask yourself. And one of the things that that I actually heard recently, and you're gonna know when something resonates with you, if something's meant for you, because in your body, in your soul, you will get a hell yes. And I heard this recently, and from somebody, that I was listening to, and they were saying, you're like, if it's not a hell yes, it's not for you. It's either going to be a hell yes or a hell no. Don't make it, if you don't get, if it's not a hell yes, then it is a hell no. Because, you're going to know when something is right. It is going to feel right on every single level in your body, in your soul. You're going to feel it from head to toe and know. You're going to have a true knowing that it is meant for you, that it's supposed to be for you. So that's what you need. That's one of the things that, a part of the big message that I wanted to get across is understanding that right now, there's shifts going on. Okay, there's shifts going on. Things are changing. Our foundations are changing. The things that are happening in your life are happening for a reason. They're happening for a very important reason. So please don't discount them. Please take the time wherever things are being shaken up in your life. It's for a reason. Know that it is for your highest good. You may not understand it at this time. You may not see what it is doing in your life, but feel your way through it. And look for those signs around you where the universe is supporting you and sending you in a direction. And you'll know what that direction is because, like I said, it's a hell yes. And if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. There's no in between. It's either going to be for you or it's not for you. And only you are going to know that. You're the only one that's going to know what's right for you. No one else. And that's why we can't, it's so hard to go to other people for advice because the only ones that truly know us is us. So we have to be smart. We have to be intelligent. We have to go inside and really feel what is right for us. And I know this is weird. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I'm just doing it. So we'll just go with it because apparently this is the way we're supposed to do it. This is so weird. This is so backwards from the way I normally do this reading. But, a lot of things I'm just going with the flow. And that's the thing. I was not, like I said, I was in the middle of my grieving process of and I know I don't sound like I'm grieving, but it's my way of grieving. Is to do a lot of the work, do a lot of the internal work, because I know that I understand that when something is a catalyst in my life for change, that when somebody leaves my life, it's meant to happen because it's a change. It's meant to facilitate and catalyze that change that needed to happen for whatever reason. And we, because in that moment when we lose something, whatever it is, when we lose something, it's a catalyst. That pain is the catalyst to propel us forward, to make us do something different, to make us change, get out of our comfort zone. And that's why I said, I really feel like a lot of us are going through the ringer. For those folks, I know some people that are out there that are going through health problems and things like that. And they're thinking, why is this happening to me? Well, it's happening because it's changing you. It's changing the way you think. It's changing the way you look at things. And yeah, it sucks going through that. But you were already on a road. The things that you were doing in your life up until that point that led to you getting that illness were not serving you, which is why the illness came on. And so it's a call for change. Those illnesses are a call to do something different, to change something from the way you were doing it before. And what it tells me is you were doing it so long that your body had to get to a point that it had to give you pain and make you go through something that you couldn't ignore. to get you past doing what you were doing in the past. Okay. So understand that and look at things from that perspective. When something bad happens to you, it really is saying, what do I need to learn from this? How do I need to grow from this? Where was I being stuck? So badly stuck, so ingrainedly stuck that the universe had to come in and do this to my life to make me change, because I wasn't willing to change and grow where I needed to change and grow. Okay. And it's interesting because, like I said, for me, my grief process is so weird. I disconnect from the world. So for me to be out here doing this tells me that somebody needed this message right now. Regardless, I had to interrupt my grief process and to do this. And I want to tell, this is, I feel like somebody that's my regular viewer, and I love and God bless the people in my life that I know are my regular viewers that come here and love hearing my readings, because I know I don't have a lot of people that watch my readings, but I know I have a few people that love watching them regularly, love hearing what I have to say, and they're learning a lot from me. And so we have here, go through all these cards and see what came out while I was talking. So we have trust the journey. Love that. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Trust the journey. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just a little crazy moment there. And trust the journey. When you experience stagnation in your life, look at this. We've talked about all this, let me tell you, I already see in the cards out here, it's like beautiful. Okay. Sorry, I'm like in a moment of like, wow, enjoy. Being curious is important. When you experience stagnation in your life, know it's the next level calling you. Answer the call and let go of the old. We've talked about that. That's so magnificent. And then, confidence in your magic, confidence in where you're going. Liberate yourself from what doesn't serve you. You don't have to carry your burdens alone. Have the courage to ask and accept help. Now, I'm going to tell you, this ask and accept help is not what you're thinking, because a lot of people think when you hear ask for help that it's asking for external help. Now, there is a caveat to that. It's not, sometimes it can be asking people around you, but asking for help can come in so many forms. But really, the two things that I think card is calling to is your inner guidance system. Call to yourself for help in a way of going inside, have the courage to go inside and really listen to what you need. Listen to what your body and your soul and your mind are telling you. Listen to all of you. Listen to what it has to say. Listen to your soul, mainly your soul, your heart. What does it tell you that you need for you, And then if you need strength and courage, call on whoever it is that you call on, whether that be, spirit guides or angels or ancestors, whatever support system you have, whatever that support system is, call on it for strength and courage to have the wisdom to be able to see what it is that you need to see and change whatever it is that you need to change right now in your life. Okay. So, and then we have getting nowhere. You may need to adjust the lens of your life. And we talked about that, being able to see things in a new way. Change your mindset and then change your lifestyle. You can still turn things around. Like I said, I really, really feel like this shift that is happening, and I feel like there's so many of you out there right now, so many that are going through pain, hardship, struggles, where something just recently collapsed in your life in some way. And it doesn't have to be that it happened just this last week or, maybe even a few months ago. It could have been within this last year. It could be about to happen. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, but because timing's different for everyone. But there's something that's happening that is it's tearing your world apart, and it's tearing your world apart for a reason. And it may not be your entire world. It may be just an area of your world that needs to be reevaluated, that needs to be changed, that needs a different mindset. It needs, it's where your values and outlook needs to be changed. And I think for those of you that actually show up and see this reading and listen to this reading, you need to hear this message right now. You're really needing to hear that this is for a reason. This is happening for a reason. And if you embrace the fact that there's something in your life that needed to change, and there's a reason for that change to make your life even better. You don't see it right now, but this was all to make your life better, because you were so stuck in a way of doing things, a way of seeing things, that you were not changing it. You were so stuck there that the universe had to come in and go boom and just, put a big kibosh on your life in that area, because something needed to change. You were holding yourself back, and you may not realize it, but the universe sees all. And they knew that this needed to be changed. And I think it's happened for all of us, because I really feel we're in the age of Aquarius, and we're in this midst of where the energy of the earth is actually splitting into like where we had this more, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like we're kind of splitting into a third dimensional and a fifth dimensional earth. Okay. So it's like it's kind of like the universe is saying, where are you going to go? Are you going to let us take you to this fifth dimensional earth, or are you going to stay in this third dimensional earth? And if you don't know the difference between fifth and third dimension, I really highly suggest that if that's resonating with you, go and look it up, because there's so much information out there that'll help you understand. But really, the third dimensional, being in 3D is more about material. It's materialistic. It's the solid, it's what you can see, feel. The fifth dimension is more about what you can't see. It's feelings, it's intuition, it's that all-knowingness. It's really being tapped into spirit, into the divine, and the connectedness of that collective energy. What I tap into to do these readings, that you become a part of when you're more in that when you're living more in that 5D reality, okay? Then we have beautiful things take time to grow. There's no need to rush. Allow yourself to grow at your own pace. And I love this too. Everything is perfect timing. Do not be hard on yourself. Do not judge yourself. Do not be critical of yourself. We all go at our own pace in our own time. We all learn things in our own timing. And so you have to do it your way. You have to go through it, and however that looks to you is perfectly, exactly right. Because maybe, by sitting on the couch and being a couch potato and watching TV, you might watch something on TV that hits in the back of your mind and connects to something that gives you an insight of something you need and a way to go forward. Or just in the fact that you're able to, if you're, able to zone out, like you're sitting and working and doing your job, and it allows you to zone out while you're working, because you really don't have to pay full attention to what you're doing on your job, because you know it so well. In those moments, you're connecting with the 5D, and you might be getting the downloads and the insight that you need for those next steps. And so understand that everything is right. You can't do anything wrong, okay? That's a concept that you have to get away from. There is no right and wrong way of doing anything. Society has taught us there's a right way and wrong way of doing things. Other people have judged us and criticized us for doing things a certain way, and that is potent stuff right there, because I'm telling you, other people's opinions can be your worst enemy, because we start to judge ourselves based on what other people opinions of us are, because they see us as this or that, or they label us, or they, they criticize us, or they put us down, and they say, you're lazy because you do this. Well, no, your life is your your life. It's your life. It's perfect for you. And it doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they feel. Their life is theirs. They need to stay in their own lane, and you stay in your lane. And that's the thing, is I think the universe is trying to help people understand to stay in our lanes, and I think that's why we saw all this adversity going on in the world, where there's this my side, their side. There's this huge gap and huge division going on in the world around us right now, or has been, for several years now. And it's because it's my way or no way. And so the universe is trying to tell us that, and teach us that, yeah, our way is important, but there's no need to enforce our way on someone else. Their way is right. Our way is right. Everybody's way is right. There is no wrong. There's no wrong way to do it. Everybody has to go through their own experience, has to do their own things in their own time, in their own way. And it's calling for grace and compassion, learning to have that grace and compassion, to see someone and say, I don't resonate with the life that they're living, but I don't have to. And it's okay for them to be who they want to be. I don't have to be them. I don't have to make them be like me. Just, have the grace and compassion to wish them well and let them live their life the way that they want to live. And we can, live in peace and live in harmony. No, that gets to harmony. Harmony and gratitude. Harmony and gratitude. That's my new thing. One of my new mantras I do with harmony and gratitude. I actually got that out of a book. Interesting enough, it's out of the Iron Druid Chronicles, and I love those books. I highly, if you like fantasy and you like fantasy type stuff, I tell you, those books, that series is amazing. I absolutely love it. And there's so many awesome concepts in there, and philosophy. If you dig down into it, it's really, really awesome. And one of the things that, when they work with the druids, when they connect with the earth elementals, the earth elementals only, they really don't speak necessarily. They only understand concepts or feelings or emotions or pictures, kind of like you have to, the druids explain that they have to get in this, this kind of energy, so that the earth elemental understands what they're trying to convey through, like the same thing that we would do, like when we're meditating or imagining something or envisioning something. The druids have to kind of feel and see and experience what they're trying to tell the earth elementals. And one of the things that they kind of always say is kind of like, harmony. That's their way of saying hello, and I appreciate you, harmony in things, because the whole concept is that it's all about maintaining balance. Life in general is about maintaining balance. The universe is always trying to maintain balance. That's the reason why there's the justice card, the cards of karma, in the tarot deck, is because everything it needs to be in moderation, in balance. We can't have pain without pleasure. Everything has its equal and opposite effect. So it's all cause and effect. So we need to learn how to balance everything and do everything in moderation, understand, learning how to flow and how to keep things in harmony, how to keep things in balance. And then, so I kind of went off on a tangent there, but reconciliation. There's someone or something that can still be saved if you choose to compromise, trying to find the middle ground between the 2 points. I was just talking about, I didn't even pick that card up and read it. Oh my gosh, this is so divinely guided. It ain't even funny. So, I'm telling you, I definitely, Bless you for those that get this reading, because you were definitely meant to hear it, because this reading is like off the charts divinely guided in so many ways it ain't even funny. Like I said, I was in the middle of a grieving period, and spirit tapped on me and said, no, you need to do this reading, it's important. So so the call of the void. There's a candle in your heart ready to be rekindled. All you have to do is acknowledge the void so that you can heal properly. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Thank you, Spirit. You are amazing, amazing, and wonderful. Amazing and wonderful. So I almost feel like I don't want to pull. I was pulled to or led to use all these decks where I was led to use them. I actually was going to use I was going to use is this? No, okay, this is a Shaman Dream. I picked up the Enchanted Map Oracle, and I felt like the energy wasn't right. I set it down and I picked up the Shaman Dream Oracle for this. So all these decks where I was pulled to use these decks, and it wanted me to use this Intuit Tarot deck, and I hardly ever use this deck because typically I like it. I like the imagery on it, but for me, I have challenges getting messages through it. It doesn't connect with me like other decks do, even though I really love a lot about it. It's just, some decks resonate with you and your energy better than others. But for some reason, I'm being pulled to use this deck today, and I don't even know what the message is coming out. What else is going to add to this, because so much has come out already. But really, really need to, sit with yourself. Find quiet time. Find whenever you can throughout the day. And like I said, however you need to do it, whether it's, listening to music and you get messages and downloads when you're listening to music, whether it's through your dreams and you need to keep a dream journal, whether you journal and you write, or whether you're watching TV or listening to YouTube, these tarot readings, however you get your downloads, however you get your insights, really tap in. This is really calling you to tap into whatever helps heal you, whatever helps you, rekindle that spark of curiosity within you, and help you heal. And it's like, acknowledge that sometimes we need to sit with ourselves. Sometimes we need to that's what I'm doing. So that's one of the ways that I grieve, okay? Is I shut everyone and actually I do this, honestly, I do this for about a week almost every year. And I hadn't been doing it. I had not been doing it because of just things, COVID, other things that's happened in the world. I was not sitting down and taking, I hadn't in like 3-4 years. I realized it was like 2019 was the last time that I had really taken a week off and disconnected from everything and everyone. I shut everything out as much as possible. I don't watch TV. I don't, usually I'll just get a book and I'll read a book or read a couple books, and just, usually it's on a beach somewhere. And I couldn't do that. And I think that was what I was, it's like that compromise. I haven't been able to do that. So it was like, I wasn't taking that time because I always did it at a beach. And since I hadn't been able to go to the beach that I normally go to every year, the last several years, I hadn't been doing it. And so the universe made something happen in my life to say, you need to take this time that you used to always take, that you haven't been taking. So we're going to make you take it, even though you're here at home. Okay. So it's that compromise. It's like, maybe you've been putting something off, and maybe you haven't been doing something that your heart and soul is calling you to do, and you haven't been doing it because of whatever reason, whatever excuse that you're making up to not do it. Oh, and another video, I had a video, I posted it on my social media, on my Facebook page, not my business, not Soul Conscious. Maybe I need to share it. I actually might share it there too, but it won't be this week. I'm telling you that because I'm not doing social media this week. So, so one of the things that video was like, the magic that you're looking for is in what you're fearing, or something like that. The magic you're looking for is what is in what you fear the most, or something to that effect. Which is absolutely true. It absolutely is true. Anything that scares us, there's a reason it scares us, because it's something we don't want to look at, something that raises our shackles, something that makes us angry, something that makes us fearful, afraid. Whenever those feelings come up, those are low vibrational frequencies and energy. And when those come up in our body, it's basically our body trying to tell us there's something that's not right that needs to be healed. This is at a discord to us, and there's a reason why it's at a discord to us, and it's something that needs to be looked at or examined. And so one of the things to do is to try and turn fear, if you're afraid of something, turn it into curiosity, okay? Turn any fear you have into curiosity. And because if you think about a child, that's one of the ways to heal some of your inner childhood wounds in a way, is because, the inner child most of our inner childs have got wounded at some point. I'm sure there's very few people that walk in the world that their inner childs are fully healed. Although some of us have made great strides, there's still probably work to be done. All of us have shadow aspects, and we all have stuff that, just this world has put on us that we've taken on and we've taken in. But if you think about a child is always curious, because they want to know, they want to learn, they want to know why. There's this curiosity. They're like, what's that? What's that? What's that? It's that excitement of, oh my God, they're fearless because they're curious. So it's learning, it's re-changing. Where was that card? It's something about restructuring. Where was it? This. Oh my gosh, I can't. I think it's change your mind. We'll go with this one. Change your mindset and then change your lifestyle. You can still turn things around. I really feel like that it really is, that if there's something you're afraid of, something you're fearful of, really looking at it through that new lens. You may need to adjust the lens of your life. Looking at it through the lens of curiosity instead of the lens of fear. Think about, like I said, being that little child, being like a little 1 or 2 year old that has no fear, that just is curious about everything. Just wants to explore, just wants to learn, just wants to grow, wants to learn and grow. And that's who we are. We're all childs at heart. That's what deep inside of us, what we're here to do. We're here to grow and to learn. And if we remember that, if we get back to that, our lives will be so much happier. Oh my gosh, you ain't even kidding. 4 of Swords, healing. Yeah, it's a time for healing. We got that with that call for the void. I don't even know what's going to come out. Oh, the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is really a card of balance. Moving on to calmer waters. It's really about 2 of Cups is balance, because it's companionship, partnership, but it's this equal. If you think about the other 2s in the tarot, we have, like the 2, it's all about decisions, mostly like decisions that need to be made. It's usually, if you think about the 2 of Pentacles, it's about something being out of balance, and then we have the 2 of Swords is you're trying to, you can't make a decision, or you're not making a decision because you can't see what's ahead. So you're afraid of making a decision because you can't see what's in front of you. And then we have the what's the other student I'm missing here? 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is about a crossroads. It's about, again, it's like we're in that midst of 2 things, but 2 of Cups, I always see this as, this is perfect. It says in sync. It's in being in sync. But this is going to be a different take. I don't know if anybody out there has said this before or not, but this is coming through very, very strongly about the 2 of Cups, because I know there's a lot of people that do love readings out there. I mean, there are people out there that do stuff other than love readings. Like me, I try not to do love readings. But this 2 of Cups right now is really, I'm seeing this mirror here, and it's really talking about getting in sync with yourself. Coming into balance, into partnership with yourself, with your true self, with your inner child, with yourself. This is connecting back to your inner child, back to yourself, getting back to yourself. That is so important right now. Finding yourself, getting back to yourself, coming into agreement with yourself, loving yourself, knowing that you are a beautiful, unique, wonderful person, magnificent person that is here for a specific reason. You just have to get in touch with yourself to realize what that reason is, because you've forgotten. And the universe knows most of us have forgotten. We've gotten too distracted by the stuff in the world, all this material stuff, all this technology, all this crazy stuff going on in the world. We've got too distracted and we've forgotten who we are. And so the universe is course correcting because it needs to bring things back into balance, because everything's about balance. And to get things back into balance, it means we, as above, so below. Our outside world reflects our inside world reflects our outside world. It's all connected. So until we get in tune and in balance and in sync within ourselves, until we learn to love ourselves and we are in harmony with ourselves, harmony and gratitude, until we are grateful for who we are, grateful for our life, grateful, love ourselves, appreciate ourselves, and then through that feeling of really loving yourself, really knowing that you are worthy and you're worth it, then you can walk out into the world and bring that into the world, birth that into the world and really benefit the world in some way, because now you're walking in the world as the true divine soul that you came here to be, to do the work that you were meant to do, because now you found yourself again. And I think a lot of us have lost ourselves, and that's what's going on. There's this restructuring, recalibrating going on right now, this huge shift to move us into more calmer waters, to move us into a place where we're overcoming hardship that's going to be more peaceful and more tranquil. It's going to restore this peace as this. Now I know why this card, they wanted me to use this. They wanted me to use this deck. I see it now. Thank you, universe. I am telling you, I really, really hope that everyone that watches this video likes this video, comments down below, whether some kind of affirmation, whether, affirm that this is for you. No, this is for you. Say something down below. This is me. Or I got this, something to validate yourself and validate this message for you in your life. Show spirit that this is what you want for yourself. This is what you need for yourself, because, the universe only knows what we tell it by what we think. So we have to get our minds right. We have to know what we want, and know what we want in a way that is true to us. So we have to really do that work. It's really talking about Four of Swords, retreating, recalibrating, going within, taking that break like I'm doing now. I took like almost 10 days off, and I'm like, no, I gotta cut ties with everything, because I had to take that time to really find myself again, to recalibrate, to know where I'm going next and where I need to go next. What's next? And that's what it's, that curiosity, like I said, of knowing what's next. Really be ready to change your life, to feel the magic, that curiosity. Don't be afraid, because we all have the power to create the lives that we want for ourselves. We just have to believe that we can do it and have faith. Faith is the big thing. And I know faith, is crazy, because it's not, I don't care what religion, what spiritual practice you follow. Faith is mostly in yourself. It's having faith and confidence and strength within yourself to know that you have the power to change your world, that you can change it. Yes, divine spirit, the universe, wherever you're, God, whatever you look at as something bigger than yourself, yes, that can come in and it can help you. Those energies of the divine collective can actually, come in, and if you call on it, that energy, those entities will help you bolster this in your life. But if you are an atheist, which I wouldn't think atheists would be here watching these videos, but you never know. But it really is, it really is, knowing that you have the ability to do whatever you want. We have free will for a reason. Use your free will to live the life that you want to live. We can live it. And it's just by believing, having faith in ourselves and believing in ourselves that we can do it. Because we are literally our own worst enemy all the time. Really. Because we either get caught up in the past, we get caught up in expectations in the future, and we forget to live for now. We forget that right now, in this moment, is the most important moment. We need to really appreciate where we are right now. I think so much of us have forgotten, because we have this want it now kind of entitledism that's going on, where instant, and that's, whenever we have air come up like that, it's usually a sign of something's resonating. But whenever this instant gratification that we want, we sometimes forget to really enjoy what it is that we have. Enjoy the food that we're eating. We'll just gobble it down, and we're not really enjoying it. When we're with somebody's company, especially, I see this all the time now. I mean, all the time. And I know many people are guilty of it. Thank goodness I'm not guilty of it, or try not to be anyway. Of like, now we have cell phones, and people are on their cell phones, and they're texting. They could be sitting right next to somebody, and instead of giving them their full undivided attention, if something goes on their phone, they got to check it. Oh, what was that? Well, they don't think that I can just get back to them later. It's fine. They're not in that moment. They're so worried about something else that they're not present. I think so many of us have forgot to be present. And that's a big thing. And that's part of that healing process, is being present in the moment to get those downloads, to get that insight, so that you know which direction that you need to go. So I'm telling you, I really hope every single one of you that watches this hits that like button, because this message is so innately, insanely divinely guided in so many ways. You don't even understand. I get it. I see it. I hope you see it. I hope you resonated with this, because that means you're on the right path. You're going to be headed on the right track, and it's going to make a huge, huge impact and a huge change in your life. So I bless you so very much, and I wish you the very best and what is for your highest good in the future. Thank you so much for joining me today.